Class 8. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. In my last lecture, I had started with the endocrine system and had taken up the two major glands of the body, pituitary gland and thyroid gland. So let's quickly revise what are endocrine glands and what are the various hormones which are secreted by the thyroid gland and the pituitary gland. This diagram is showing the position or the location of different endocrine glands in the body. So you can see the location of the pituitary gland and the thyroid gland over here. This is the thyroid gland in the neck region and the pituitary gland near the brain, at the base of the brain. So what is the function of the pituitary gland? That is the various hormones which are secreted basically by the pituitary gland are the growth hormone, the TSH or the thyroid stimulating hormone, and the gonad stimulating hormone. Pituitary gland, I had told you that it is called the master gland of the body just because it is controlling the activity of so many other glands in the body, and it is also responsible for many other activities of the body. So it is called the master gland of the body. You can see so many functions that it is controlling. So one of the functions being the secretion of the hormones, that is it secretes the growth hormone and which regulates the growth of muscles, bones and tissues. Now you can see in the diagram also that it is responsible for the secretion of the growth hormone, that is this hormone, is that clear, which is concerned with the growth of the muscles, bones and tissues. Then its hyposecretion or less secretion leads to a condition in children which is known as dwarfism, and excessive secretion or hyper secretion of the growth hormone makes a person very tall, and that is known as gigantism. And it stimulates the production of thyroid hormone, that is the thyroxine, by the secretion of another hormone which is known as TSH. Is it clear? Then gonad stimulating hormone, it stimulates the ovaries and testes to secrete sex hormones, that is the testosterone by the testes and secretion of progesterone and estrogen by the ovaries. So these are the sex hormones whose secretion is stimulated by the GSH, that is the gonad stimulating hormone. You can see over here separately in the form of other hormones that are there, the follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. Of course they have a different function to perform, but the gonad stimulating hormone stimulates the ovaries and testes to secrete, that is ovaries and testes are called the gonads. They stimulate, make them active to secrete the sex hormones. Is that clear? Then apart from this, pituitary gland produces hormone that cause contraction of the muscles of the uterus during childbirth, and apart from that it also stimulates the breast to produce milk to feed the newborn. So these are the hormones which are performing these functions, that is specifically when we are talking about the luteinizing hormone, or there are other hormones which are responsible whose names are not given over here. So after that, let's discuss what is the thyroid gland and what is its location, and thyroid hormone or the thyroxine, what are the various functions of thyroxines. Now, as discussed earlier also, you can see the position of the thyroid gland. It's a bilobe gland and it is located below the larynx or on either side of the windpipe. It secretes the hormone that is known as thyroxine, and this is a iodine containing hormone. And what is the basic function? That is, it increases the speed of most activities of the body. The speed of most activities of the body, the functions of the various parts of the body are regulated by the amount of thyroxine that is being secreted by the thyroid gland. So it secretes, I beg your pardon, it stimulates growth in infants, and less secretion leads to goiter and cretinism in children and myxoderma in adults. Then excessive secretion of thyroxine leads to an increased metabolic rate, increased heartbeat and restlessness. These are the functions of the thyroxine, that is less and over secretion of thyroxine leads to major problems in the body. I had even discussed the adrenal gland and its hormone, that is adrenaline. So I'll revise it further and proceed on to the next hormone of the adrenal gland. So you can see this is the adrenal gland. You can see over here on the top of the two kidneys, each kidney a pair of adrenal glands are present, and they have two parts, that is the adrenal cortex and adrenal medulla, that is the medulla and cortex are the two parts of adrenal gland. You can see very clearly in this diagram. So you can see the two parts, that is the medulla and the cortex. There are two separate gland hormones which are secreted by these parts. Adrenaline, which I had discussed in the last lecture, that it is secreted by which part? The medulla, and this is known as the emergency hormone because it helps us to combat the emergency situation, and it is also known as the fight or flight hormone. The hormone which is secreted by the adrenal gland is by which part? It is by the cortex part of the adrenal gland, and this is responsible for other major functions of the body. The name of this hormone is cortisone. Now what is the basic part, or is the basic role of this particular hormone? So it regulates the carbohydrate, fat and protein metabolism. Now whatever food that you are taking in the various forms, that is in the form of carbohydrate, you are eating a chapati or you are eating a rice, so it is broken down in your body and then it is absorbed. That is the process of assimilation takes place, that it becomes a part of you. Is that clear? So this is just not a simple process, it involves many steps. So overall activity, or you sum up and say it as a single process of anything, be it the digestion of fat or the metabolism of fat, carbohydrate or proteins. So they are broken up into simpler units called, in the case of protein it is amino acids and stored as glycogen or fat, and then fats get broken down into fatty acids stored as triglycerides. Now this is something which will be explained to you at a higher level. So you should understand that it is not the protein, that is you are taking the milk or egg or cheese, the milk products that you are taking, or the fats that you are taking in your diet, be it butter, be it ghee or various types of oils and other food stuff that you are taking. They will not be absorbed as fats, they have to be broken down before becoming a part of you and helping you to carry out the daily activities. So that is the metabolism, and this is regulated. Regulated means it is being controlled, that at what point it has to be fast, at what time, at what point it has to be slow. This all is regulated by the hormone which is the cortisone. Apart from that, it regulates the salt and water balance in the body. The salt and water balance in the body is regulated by the cortisone. For instance, you are eating a very salty food, so that the salt that is not being required by the body, it has to be stored somewhere, or it has to be converted into the form which is to be utilized later, or if it is not to be utilized, it has to be thrown out of the body. So this is the function of the regulator, of any regulator. So whatever need is there, or whichever kind of need is there in the body, it has to be regulating the intake of that particular food, or the amount of water that has to be present in the body at that particular time period, it is all regulated by the hormone cortisol. Then it helps the body adapt itself in the situation of stress, like it's extremely hot or extremely cold. Extremely hot in the months of May, June, July. How does your body combat that particular situation? Then it's very cold in December, January. How does your body adapt to that particular condition? What all is happening in the body that is helping you to face that extreme weather, whether it is very hot or whether it is very cold, or you have a burn injury, or there are infections in the body, unless and until of course the infections are severe. But this all is being controlled by a hormone which is known as cortisol, and it is secreted by the cortex of adrenal gland. So these are the major functions of the adrenal gland. Then we move on to the next gland, that is the pancreas. Now what is pancreas? I hope you have come across this term and you know where this part is, especially in the digestive system. Now it contains both the tissues, that is exocrine as well as endocrine. That is why I told you, I reminded you about the digestive system, because over there you were concerned with the exocrine part of that this particular gland, that is this yellow gland that you can see in the figure. This is the pancreas. Is that clear? So it contains exocrine tissue which secretes what? The digestive enzymes, and it aids in digestion process. It is helpful in the digestion process, without which the digestive function is hampered or it is affected if its secretion is not normal. What is the function of the endocrine tissue that is present in the pancreas? Now this endocrine tissue contains special group of cell which is known as islets of Langerhans. They contain, you can see them in the figure over here. Is that clear? Now these are the cells which secrete the exocrine part, that is the digestive enzymes and aid in digestion, while this part is the part which contains the endocrine part, that is the islets of Langerhans, and they secrete the hormone which is the insulin and glucagon. Is that clear? They are concerned with the secretion of two major hormones, that is the insulin and glucagon. You can see the position of the pancreas also, that is it is near the stomach in the abdomen. Here this is the stomach, the brown part that you can see, this is the stomach, this organ, and in the loop of the small intestine, that is in the duodenum. Here we can see the diagram of, or we can see the position of the pancreas, the yellow gland that is situated. What is the function of the insulin? Now you have come across this term several times, especially those students who have diabetes patients at home. So what is the basic function of the insulin in the body? That is, it lowers the level of glucose in blood in the following three ways. That is, in there are three ways in which the glucose level is maintained in the body. Whatever excess glucose is there in the body, or at times you might have had more food than required by the body, or have something extra sugar in your body, so that is doing what? So it changes that excess glucose into glycogen. You can see this excess glucose that has been taken by the blood. It stimulates the insulin production, and then it changes this, and this changes excess glucose into glycogen. You can see over here that excess glucose is being changed into glycogen, and it is stored in the muscles and in the liver cells. Then it is stimulating the cells to burn extra glucose, and it is producing the heat and energy that is required by the body when doing some activity, climbing the stairs or running or doing some extra work. Then it stimulates the cells to convert extra glucose into fat also. Is that clear? These are the functions of the of insulin, that is, it is how it is lowering the level of glucose in the blood and keeping it controlled when the glucose level rises in the blood. Then when there is less secretion of insulin, then what happened, that it leads to a condition which is known as the diabetes mellitus, and it increases the level of glucose in the blood, and this condition is called as diabetes mellitus when less secretion of insulin is there. So what are the symptoms? That is, the glucose in urine, if the urine testing is done, then there is extra glucose in the urine, the level is higher. Then there is excessive thirst because of loss of water in urination. A person feels an urge to urinate very frequently, that is why the person, there is loss of more water from the body and the person becomes thirsty. And then there is weight loss also, that glucose which could have been accumulated or they have collected in the body to convert that extra glucose is not converted into fat. Even that amount of glucose, normal glucose, is not converted into fat in the body. That is why there is loss of body weight also. Then what is the function of next hormone? That is the glucagon. It lowers, if there is excessive secretion of insulin, then it results in a lowering of glucose level in blood. Is that clear? So it can have very serious effects on the body if there is excessive secretion of insulin, that is, it results in lowering of glucose level, and once the glucose level is lowered, it can even cause death if it is not monitored properly. Plus, what is the function of the glucagon? That what is the insulin doing? It is lowering the level of glucose in the blood, and the glucagon is working opposite to this. It stimulates the breakdown of glycogen into glucose in the liver. Whatever glycogen that was stored here, it is stimulated by glucagon, and this comes in the blood again, and then it increases the level of glucose in the blood and helps a person to lead a normal life. This, you can see the function of glucose. This is stimulated the glycogen that was stored, the extra glucose which was converted into glycogen by the insulin, and is stored in the liver and the muscle. This is stimulated by another hormone, that is glucagon, and the glycogen that was stored is reconverted back into glucose, and this raises the blood sugar level. So these are the functions of the insulin and glucagon. Then moving on to the exercise on page number 55. So which of the following is not an endocrine gland? That is the pituitary gland, thyroid gland, salivary gland and adrenal gland. So I told you the salivary gland is an exocrine gland and is responsible for the secretion of saliva. Then the endocrine glands release their secretions in the target organ or the blood. It is the blood, and through the blood it reaches the target organ. Which of the following gland is also called the master gland? It is the pituitary gland, because it controls so many other the function of so many other glands. The fight or flight hormone is secreted by, yes, it is secreted by the pituitary gland. Which hormone is called the fight or flight gland? It is the adrenaline. Moving on to page number 56. Which of the following hormones changes excess glucose into glycogen? Yes, it is insulin. Which of the following hormones stimulates the breakdown of glycogen into glucose in the liver? It is glucagon, which works opposite to insulin. Then match the following. This, of course, I hope you can do it on your own. Then moving on to fill in the blank. The two types of glands present in a body are exocrine and endocrine glands. Then the hormones are carried by the blood. I just told you this also. Then the less secretion of growth hormone causes dwarfism. Blank occurs due to insufficient iodine in the diet. It is goiter. Excessive secretion of blank causes increased metabolic rate, increased heartbeat and restlessness. Yes. excessive secretion of thyroxine, that is the hormone which is secreted by the thyroid gland. Please revise I have just covered a small part only, that is the cortisone and the hormone secreted by the pancreas. Please revise it, and I'll move on to the next topic, adolescence, in the next 10, inshallah, in the next turn. Allah Hafiz.